My story begins in late July, on what I remember as a bright and hot summer day. It was July 21st, the first day of our family holiday. I stood on the deck of a large ferry, breathing in the salty air, watching the endless blue sea stretch before me. It was 11 o'clock in the morning, and we were on our way from Dover to Calais, crossing the English Channel. I was traveling with my parents and my younger brother Oliver. Around us, people laughed, chatted, and took pictures of the seagulls gliding effortlessly over the waves. There was a sense of excitement in the air. Everyone was looking forward to their holidays, just like us. And then, suddenly, I saw him. A tall boy, standing a few feet away, leaning against the railing. He wore a blue and white striped shirt, and the wind ruffled his dark brown hair. He wasn't like the others. He wasn't laughing loudly or taking selfies. Instead, he gazed at the sea, lost in thought. He was handsome, in a quiet, effortless way. I found myself staring, unable to look away. He didn't see me at first. He was with a group of friends, and standing beside him was someone who looked remarkably similar to him. Same blue eyes, same sharp jawline, almost the same hair. They had to be brothers. The younger one, his brother, was energetic, laughing as he tried to chase the seagulls, making exaggerated grabs at them while their friends cheered him on. And then, for just a second, he looked at me. Our eyes met, and my heart skipped a beat. He held my gaze, and a soft, shy smile formed on his lips. The world around me vanished. The people, the sea, the wind. None of it existed anymore. It was just him and me. A few moments later, the ferry began moving, slowly gliding away from the shore, taking us across the sea towards France. The ferry was huge. It had a cafe, a cinema, even a small arcade and a disco. In the evening, Oliver and I decided to explore, ending up at the disco. We sat down with some sodas, watching people dance under the dim, flickering lights. I was disappointed. He wasn't there. But then, just as I was about to give up, a tall figure entered the room. I turned my head sharply. It was him. He was wearing a black and white shirt this time, and he wasn't alone. He had a friend with him, and together they scanned the room, their eyes moving from one face to another. And then he saw me. A slow, warm smile spread across his face. I felt my pulse quicken. Before I could even think, he was walking towards me. "Would you like to dance?" he asked. His voice was soft, kind, confident. I nodded, unable to trust my own voice. We danced together for what felt like forever. He wasn't shy anymore, not with me. He smiled, laughed softly when I stumbled over my steps, and whispered something I couldn't quite hear over the music. And then, something changed. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw another boy standing by the door. He was wearing a blue and white striped shirt. I froze. His eyes, his mouth, his face, they were identical. But this boy wasn't smiling. He just stood there, watching me with sad, quiet eyes. And in that moment, a horrifying realization hit me. I was dancing with the wrong brother. The boy I had locked eyes with earlier. The boy with the shy smile. The boy I couldn't stop thinking about. He was the one standing at the door, not the one I was with. Panic surged through me. I wanted to run to him, to explain, to say sorry. But before I could, he turned and disappeared into the crowd. That night, I couldn't sleep. I lay awake in my small cabin, listening to the distant hum of the ferry's engines and the sound of the waves outside. I replayed that moment over and over again. His sad eyes, his hurt expression, the way he had simply walked away without a word. In the morning, I woke up early, hoping to find him before we reached France. Oliver and I went to the cafe, and I sat there for hours, drinking cup after cup of coffee, even though I hated coffee. But he never came. Where was he? Had he been avoiding me? At 11 o'clock, the ferry reached Calais. Passengers hurried to grab their luggage, and families reunited with friends. I stood by the railing, searching for him one last time. But he was gone. I wanted to stop the ferry. I wanted to rewind time. I wanted to go back to that moment on the deck when we first locked eyes and do everything differently. But life doesn't work like that. I never even got to ask his name.